What if your company became the Tata of your category, or the Amul of your industry, or the Infosys of your niche? Recognized, trusted, and preferred, and that too in markets you've never even visited. Sounds very aspirational, right? But I can tell you it is possible. The reason most Indian businesses don't make that leap isn't product quality, their capacity, or even the hustle. It's the absence of strategic branding. Today, I will show you how Indian businesses can evolve from local heroes to global icons, command premium pricing, and build predictable demand even while competing with China, the USA, Germany, and other developed economies. Stay with me because the shift begins in the next few minutes. Namaskar and welcome to India Grow Global, the video series designed for Indian owners and CMOs in B2B, B2C, service industries, and contract manufacturing who want to build global ready brands. I am Amit Chandraa, a veteran with 3.5 decades of experience in strategic branding and marketing communications, and I have worked across 15 sectors with top blue chip multinationals and Indian business leaders. At India Grow Global, our mission is very simple: help Indian businesses across B2B, B2C, service industries, and contract manufacturers become globally admired power brands, move beyond price based selling, create sustained demand, and win international markets with clarity, confidence, and consistency. If you dream to be the next Apple or GE or Google, then stay with us because what we are going to be talking about today might just be the start of that dream journey, the dream of becoming a globally recognized and respected power brand. Let's name the elephant in the room. Most Indian firms are caught in three traps. First, fighting the price wars. There's always someone cheaper, right? Competing on price alone drains the margins, blocks innovation, and makes forecasting a guessing game. Second, living a supplier syndrome. We are brilliant at delivery, but often invisible as brands. Buyers remember the foreign label on the shelf, not the Indian factory behind it. Remember that. And thirdly, surviving on fragmented marketing. We run campaigns without a unifying brand strategy. The messages change, the visuals drift, and we never occupy a distinct position in the buyer's mind. Here's a quick story. A precision engineering SME from Rajkot once told me, "We are ISO certified. Our OTIF, that is one time in full, is above 96%, but European buyers still treat us as replaceable." Well, the problem wasn't performance, it was perception. After repositioning them as high reliability, Indian made components with European standards and Indian agility, revamping a proof packed website and targeted LinkedIn thought leadership, their average order value rose by 22% within just a matter of 2 quarters. It was the same factory, same business, but it now had a new brand meaning. That's the shift from what we make to what we mean in the buyer's world. Today, your meaning is your gap, and branding creates that meaning and fills the gap. Here's the crucial distinction: branding is a strategy that defines who you are, what you stand for, and why you are different. Whereas marketing is how you communicate and distribute that meaning across channels. Branding decides your positioning. For example, premium Ayurveda for modern wellness or cheap herbal products. Branding decides the promise you'll always like to keep. For example, zero defect or traceable supply. Branding also decides the personality that buyers will feel about your brand. For example, heritage or innovative or sustainable. It could be luxury, dependable, and so on. Branding builds on the proof stack like certifications, case results, client logos, sustainability matrix, and so on. Once branding is done doing all these things, marketing then executes campaigns, content, events, SEOs, performance ads, trade fair, etc., based on the brand elements we just spoke about. Without the brand strategy, marketing becomes random acts of promotion. Think of branding as a compass and marketing as a ship. A bigger ship with no compass only helps you get lost, and that too faster. I've seen companies spend crores on ads without a defined brand narrative. Leads come in, but conversions lagged because the market didn't know what to remember about that brand. Once we were working with a contract manufacturer client, we clarified their brand idea to tech enabled quality with human accountability. And guess what? Their engagements improved, sales cycles shortened, and pricing pressures eased. In short, clarity compounds and branding adds to the right momentum. Once again, I would like to touch upon the tea and textiles paradox. India grows some of the world's finest tea and produces world class textiles. Yet, who captures most of the global premiums? Often not us. And why? Because international shelves are dominated by brands that own the story, not merely the supply. Consider Darjeeling tea. The leaf can be Indian, the premium might be captured by a British or a Japanese brand that curates the origin, sustainability, and the rituals. The learning isn't to complain, it is to brand our provenance, that is, our origin. Add GI tags, estates, master blenders, and brewing culture, and then present it with a world class design. Now let's talk about textiles. Clusters like Tirupur flipped a weakness into a strength by investing in zero liquid discharge, solar, and global certifications. When the pitch changed from competitive price to responsible traceable knitwear at speed, European buyers listened and also paid better. If you're finding this useful, please like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to stay informed. And also share this episode with another Indian business leader. It helps more Indian firms learn how to grow global. As a business owner, you may ask, Amit, branding sounds expensive. We are mid-size. Can we really afford it? Well, I would say the right question is, can you afford not to? Because branding isn't a cost center. It is a pricing power and pipeline stability. Redirect 10 to 15% of your scattered promo spend into a focused brand system which has a defined positioning, narrative, design system, and proof assets, and you will feel it in margins and your win rate. Similarly, as a CMO, you may ask, how do we know branding is working and is not some kind of a vanity matrix? Well, the answer to that is you can track your brand-led KPIs like unaided recall in target accounts, average selling price and discount reductions, sales cycle length, repeat purchase rate, and LTV, that is your lifetime value. You can also gauge the branding and marketing performance by monitoring the inbound inquiries from strategic markets. Even talent attraction is influenced by branding. Brand strengths pull better talent. Next question is, should we standardize or localize abroad? My answer to that will be, keep the core consistent but adapt the expression. Your promise and proof remain same, but your language, cultural cues, and offers change with each market. Think of it as one brand, many doors. Fabindia didn't sell cheap ethnic wear. They branded craft, community, and conscience aligning with global slow fashion values. And the result, premium positioning, loyal diaspora, and growing non-Indian customers who value authenticity. Let's look at a parallel in Ayurveda. Brands that moved from brown bottles to luxury rituals, added story-led packaging, spoke about the origin story of ingredient and their formulation, highlighted scientific validation, now command global premiums. Here's a B2B parallel. Bharat Forge, one of India's leading forging companies, built a narrative of precision plus reliability plus innovation. They didn't position themselves as an affordable forgings. Instead, they chose to be seen as a mission critical components at global tolerance. Come to think of it, it is not just a marketing narrative. That phrasing matters because it guides design, quality investment, sales decks, and pricing confidence. Here are a few trends you can bank upon. Premiumization. Across categories, buyers pay more for clear value, be it innovation, sustainability, craftsmanship, safety, or similar values. Number two, proof over claims. Showcase certifications like ISO, IATF, BRC, Fairtrade, GOTS, along with LCA reports and auditability. Such communications help reduce the risk for foreign buyers. It builds trust and justifies the premium pricing. Number three, digital buying journeys. In B2B, most buyers shortlist suppliers even before talking to the sales of those shortlisted suppliers. And to qualify in the shortlist, create thought leadership on LinkedIn. Use technical SEOs and share credible case studies. Such marketing tools influence 50 to 70% of the decision path of international buyers. Next, China plus one. Today, the entire Western democratic world is looking for a China plus one option. This trend for global supply diversification opens the door for India. What we need to do is talk beyond capacity and pricing, build reliability and brand trust. Conscious consumption is another very important factor. ESG expectations are rising in the EU, the UK, and the US. Indian brands with traceability and responsibility are likely to draw customer traction and win faster. Now read it again. Premiumization, proof of claims, digital buying journey, China plus one story, conscious consumption. These aren't just some random marketing trends. If your brand manages to package them well, they can be your pricing power levers for launching a premium pricing label. Here's a practical playbook you can start this very quarter. Start by defining a decisive positioning. Well, let me give you a blueprint for defining and differentiating your positioning. Complete this sentence. We are the only Indian brand in our category that dash for dash because dash. If you can't fill these blanks, that should be your priority number one you should be focusing on. And mind you, these fill in the blanks are not some about product features, quality, or pricing. Think beyond these elements. Design a world-class brand identity system. The brand's typeface, color, iconography, data visual style, packaging, plant signage, and so on. These are the visual fundamentals of branding, having their consistency across all customer touchpoints, right from your website to your marketing collaterals, your emails, and your packaging, your after sales and service communications. They all must be consistent. This consistency is what signals the confidence in customers' perception about your brand. Next, build a proof library. Your certifications, audits, case studies with outcomes. Display your client logos, create factory walkthrough videos, sustainability dashboards, and so on. The universal thumb rule is proof always beats the sales pitch. Own a signature story. It could be your heritage, invention, or the impact you are creating with your product. Pick one and embed it in your website, text, packaging, and PR, and everywhere else. Next, go digital with intent. If you are a B2B, you've got to be present and active on LinkedIn. And when I say be active on LinkedIn, it does not mean simply following or connecting with prospective customers and asking for a meeting. Be active by sharing relevant content that your customer will like to read or watch. Content that establishes you as an industry thought leader and builds trust in your brand. You could create content like point of view posts from the founder or CTO, technical white papers, how to ensure zero defect videos, SDR ready case hubs, and so on. Whereas if you are a B2C business, you could create content with short form storytelling, creator collabs, reviews, user generated content, and so on. D2C with multilingual PDPs, Amazon, Etsy optimized listings are also very helpful. Price your product like a brand. Create a good, better, best package architecture. Anchor a premium tier with added values. It could be speed, customization, service SLA, or any other such value. This will relieve your core product from carrying the margin burden. Your core product should be your premium product. Let's talk of foothold markets. Choose 2 to 3 priority countries. Align local compliance, distribution partners, local influencers, and a focused PR content calendar. Always remember, depth beats spread. If you are building a business today, you cannot ignore branding and marketing. And let me tell you, these aren't just buzzwords, these are essential pillars in today's competitive market. Branding goes way beyond just a logo or some social media posts. It involves strategy, design, storytelling, and solid execution. Having worked as a strategist for so many years, I know firsthand how building a strong brand and a go to market strategy can feel rather overwhelming. That's why my advice is simple: don't go it alone. If you really want to grow and scale, consider working with professionals who can help you build a solid core marketing strategy. Random content and short term lead generation might give you some quick wins, but they won't help you scale. What you really need is a clear, well thought out branding and marketing strategy. Think of your brand strategy as the soul of your business. It is what sets you apart in the market. It is your unique value, your story, and how you connect with your ideal customers. At Be Ahead, we create tailored strategies for businesses like yours. If you'd like our help, just click the free strategy call link given in the description below, and we would love to support you. And don't forget to grab a copy of my free ebook, The Brand Strategy Blueprint: How Smart Manufacturers Become Global Export Champions. The download link is given in the description below again and is packed with actionable insight. And there's more. I've included a free short training video on branding for entrepreneurs. It's practical, it's useful, and it is completely free. Go ahead, watch it, and let me thank you in advance for that. I'm sure it will give you a clear direction for your brand. And remember, your brand is your business's greatest asset. So do build it right. Next, let's talk about government support and policies and facilities. Coming back to our discussion, there's real help available in the form of government support, policies, and facilities. Use it strategically. There are government sponsored EPCs and boards: Textile EEPC, APIDA, Farm Excel, Service Export Promotion Councils, Market Intel, Trade Missions, Buyer Seller Meets, and so on. There are numerous government schemes like RODTEP, ROSCTL, MAI, PLI in select sectors, and these improve viability, visibility, and capacity. Indian Brand Equity Foundation IBEF offers country brand assets and sector reports. Leverage narratives that align with Brand India. Then there are Exim Banks and ECGCs, finance, risk cover, and buy credit to support entry into tougher markets. There are standards and labs, NABL accredited labs, BIS, FSSAI, plus EU's and US compliance partners. They turn compliance into a brand advantage and not a hurdle. And lastly, tie every policy benefit back to your brand promise, and that's very important. It could be your speed of response, it could be sustainability, safety, or innovation, and so on. Remember, support can become a story, not just a subsidy. Let me leave you with this thought: strategic branding is not a luxury. It is your passport to global markets. It is what will decide whether you remain a low margin supplier or become a respected global brand. If you are ready to step out of your supplier shadows and build a global ready Indian brand, then let's talk. I've spent 3.5 decades helping brands across 15 sectors win against their toughest global competition. And I want to see Indian businesses rise as global power brands. That's the mission of India Grow Global. If you are serious about taking your brand global, don't wait. Click the link in the description below and book your free strategy call with me, and let's craft your roadmap together. And if you found value in today's episode, then please hit like, subscribe, and share this with a business owner who needs to hear this. Because India's rise as a brand superpower starts with us, and it starts with you. Until next week, India, grow global. Be seen, be remembered, and be ahead. Jai Hind.